Hello everyone and welcome to Bar TV Sports for this live coverage of the National Premier League. My name is Isaac Maruzi. We are live at Riverside Stadium, the new refurbished Riverside Stadium, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Nothing like the paddock that it used to look like. We're here for the Monaro Panthers as they take on a wounded Canberra FC side. Monaro finished bottom of the table last season, the same again, and next year they'll be playing in NPL 2. In game week 1, they picked up a vital 3 points over Riverina, but they're coming off a 2-0 loss to the Cooma Tigers in their last match. They currently sit 5th on the table with 3 points and a +1 goal difference. For the defending champions, Canberra FC, their start to the season has been disastrous. They suffered back-to-back 3-0 losses against Olympic and Tuggeranong, and having signed new players, they just haven't seemed to click yet. They will need to click very soon before they fall too far behind, and for a club of that size, it is simply not good enough. We are about 5 minutes from kickoff. Players are making their way out to the pitch. It's a National Premier League fixture. Monaro Panthers at home at the new refurbished Riverina Stadium against Canberra FC. Team news starting off with the Monaro Panthers. Manager Jimmy Canaridis is currently in Europe, so if you're watching, hello Jimmy. Caretaker Colin Sturton has put his team out in a 4-3-3 formation. Zerner plays in goals. A back four of Daramy, Todorowski, Temeski and Roastbacon. 3 in the midfield in Noose, Dahl and Golevski. New, James Ward and Kalfas play as a front 3. A minute's silence for the mother of Dean Temeski, who sadly passed away. Just a moment of silence there for Dean Tomeski's mother, who passed away recently. It's moments like that that make you realise that there are some things in life a bit more important than football. Now I bring you team news from Canberra FC. Manager Luca Uja has opted to stay with the same 4-4-2 formation, but the team has changed. Starting off from the back, Jordan Thurtle maintains his place in goal. Left back, Lucas Moragas. Subasic comes into centre back. He will play with Kier. Gerbischer drops to the bench. Jordan Lamb, who was playing right of midfield last game, drops to right back. 4 in the midfield. Waters plays as a left midfielder. Graham is captain. He plays centre mid next to Cole Bataldo. Uganic, who played up front last week, plays on the right side of midfield. A front two of Gianpaolo and Barach, who comes into the squad after starting on the bench in that 3-0 loss to Tuggeranong. Aidan Brunskill also drops to the bench. He can take the shoot. Canberra FC kick off to get this game underway, coming off two losses in a row, one more here, and that club will be in crisis mode. Long ball down the wing to start off with for Barak. He can't control it, but it comes back to Canberra FC. Canberra FC up to go backwards, but they've given the ball away, and it's an early foul, and possibly a very early yellow card. It is. Kalfas has stayed down after the challenge. He looks like he'll be okay to continue. And a good early first chance for Monaro. Some sloppy play from Canberra FC. And it's Tomeski to take. Tomeski's ball into the box. It's cleared away. Daramy lets the ball run out. Quick throw from Canberra FC. Barak is chasing. And it's a free kick to Monaro. It's quickly taken by Monaro. Ball is played out wide. He didn't have much support. The ball breaks to Monaro anyway. And James Ward threw on goal, but the goalkeeper does well to come out and kick the ball out for a goal kick, for a throw-in, sorry. James Ward playing down the right-hand side, found himself down the left. Didn't receive much support there, but came away with the ball in the end. Worked very hard to keep it. Calmly done. A good early start from Monaro, who played the ball down the wing. He did very well to get there. Ball's played back out to Kalfas, who loses out. Kolbatado. Moragas. Subasic. Jordan Lamb. That's back to Kier. Moragas down the left. Opts to go to the middle to Graham, who gives it to Moragas. Barak back to Moragas. He's got Ugrinic in the middle, but he can't get the ball away. It's well defended by Monaro. Looks like the goal kick's going to have to be taken again. Ball has to leave the box. That time it does. Dial back to Tudorski. Ball played out wide for Daramy, who ball had just too much weight on it. Graham. It's a long ball towards Barrett, but goes out for a throw in. Some sloppy long balls early on from both teams, but Monaro haven't started too badly. Some nerves early on from Canberra. Early mistake nearly cost them a goal. It did cost them an early yellow card. News had the right idea behind that ball, but looked like he just wrapped his foot around it a bit too much. It's well cut out. Jordan Lamb to take the throw. Barak. Ball's cleared around into Giampolo. Tries to find Kolbatado, but the ball has too much weight on it. And Monaro go backwards to go forwards. That's a good touch. And Kalfas does really well there to keep the ball. Glevski's in acres of space, but the ball just can't seem to find him, and it begs for Ugrinic. Finds Kolbatado. That's a good challenge, but it breaks for Canberra FC. Ugrinic. Kolbatado. Does well to ride the challenge and get the ball to Ugrinic. He plays it out wide to Moragas. He has two in the box. And Monaro defend well again. Bryce Beckham's been working very hard down that right-hand side early. Kier does well to win that battle. Kolbatado back on it. And Ian Graham keeps the ball and goes backwards. Subasic. To Lamb, who's being closed down quickly. He does well to find Ugrinic, who gives it to Giampolo. Back to Kier. Kolbatado plays 1-2 with Kier. Subasic. He has Lamb. Lamb has time. Ball goes out for Canberra throw. Ball did come off his hand there, but there was no way that was intentional. It's just the throw. Newer heads it on, but there's no one behind him. And Canberra FC can break. Moragas is getting on his bike. They have to go backwards to Kier instead. He loses out. They want a free kick. They're not going to get one. Golevsky is in on goal and finds the back of the net. Monaro Panthers lead last year's champions Canberra FC 1-0. Canberra FC are upset the way it came about. They thought they should have had a foul in the build-up. They did stop for a second, and you can't do that. Golevsky does well to pounce, gets one-on-one with the keeper, and slots the ball into the bottom corner. Monaro lead 1-0. Canberra FC find themselves behind again. And they look to respond right away. Barach puts too much on that. And it's a goal kick for Monaro. Or a throw-in. But Kier wins the header. He didn't know where it went. Graham does well to recover. Moragas, Kier, back to the goalkeeper. Subasic. Well, he did very well to get that. Daramy under some pressure. Ugrinic does well to get there and win the throw-in. Barrack urges him to take it quickly. He does. Monaro one handball. They're not going to get it. Lamb. He's got 4 men in the box. But the cross can't beat the first. Canberra FC win a corner, however. An ideal start for the home team, who lead through an early goal from Golevsky after a defensive error from Canberra FC. Can they respond? Monaro have a lot of men back. No one tracked Lamb for the short corner. He didn't get there in the end. Keeper shaky. They just managed to clear, but the ball breaks for Gianpaolo, who puts the ball into Graham, but the referee puts his flag up for offside. Monaro can breathe again. Dahl, who was playing in the centre of midfield, was supposed to play in the centre of midfield, has dropped very deep. Monaro push forward again. They can't control the ball. Canberra FC look to attack. They still haven't scored a goal yet in this NPL season. They've conceded 7. Ball goes out wide to Jordan Lamb. It's a good touch from Lamb. He has Ugrinic on his right. He opts to go in the middle to Graham. Graham, who looks to put a very, very good ball in, but it's well defended. Colbertado picks up the loose ball. Finds Barrack. Back to Colbertado, who puts a good ball in, but no one's there, and it's headed out for a goal kick. For a corner kick. Kaffa slipped there, but he recovered. It was almost a chance for a Monaro break, but the pass at the outside of the boot just didn't have the quality it needed. Lamb finds Barrack, who loses out and commits the foul. Tomeski. He has a lot of space. Canberra FC not really closing down the defenders. Lamb picks up the loose ball and finds Gianpaolo. Too many loose touches from both teams. It's actually what led to Monaro's goal. Although Canberra FC will feel hard done by, they feel like they had a foul in the build-up. But you got to play to the whistle. And almost another loose pass there. And Moragas does very well to keep it. He loses out, but Cobaltado's there to follow up. Gianpaolo plays it out wide. Ball is put into the box. Safe hands from the keeper, as Monaro looked to break very quickly. Karfas plays a good 1-2 with Golevsky, the goal scorer, but once again, the quality's just not there. Gianpaolo to Lamb. Ugrinic, back to Lamb. Doesn't quite open up for Lamb. It's very well done. But they lose out, and that's a foul. So it's Ugrinic behind the ball. Bit of a different role for him today. He played up front against Tuggeranong 2 weeks ago. Plays as a right mid today. A strong attacking team put out there by Luka Uja. Canberra FC still chasing their first goal from the season. Can they get it from this set piece? Ugrinic, not sure if he was going for goal or if he was putting one in the box, but it very nearly found the top corner. Goalkeeper had to be on his toes, and he was. Corner for Canberra. "15 minutes played here on Bar TV Sports. Monaro lead 1-0 from a goal from Golevsky. It's a much better corner this time. Well defended again. Golevsky comes on it first, but he just can't find his man. And Canberra FC go backwards to go forwards. Lamb. That's a great ball to find Barak. He had too many green shirts around him though. Monaro break, Golevsky. Finds Kalfas down the left-hand side. Kalfas takes his man on. Doesn't quite get around him, but he has support. Kalfas again. Golevsky, the goal scorer. Looks to put an intelligent ball in, but there's too many red shirts in the way. That's a good one too, to get the ball out of there. Moragas getting on his bike down the left-hand side. Took on one player too many, but Canberra FC win the throw. Cobaltado. Kier. Looks to find Gianpaolo with a ball down the middle, but he can't. New. Does well to find Kalfas. New makes a run into the box. Careful not to drift offside. Kalfas does really well to keep the ball. He has support in Golevsky. He opts not to use it. And he ends up giving up the free kick. He probably should have passed there. He's not happy about the decision, but he did make the wrong decision there. He should have passed earlier, as Barrett comes down the right-hand side. Barrett waiting for support. He has it in Gianpaolo. He goes back to Cobaltado. Lucas Moragas. Plays a clever 1-2. Waters. Ian Graham. Back to Kier. Alright, to Jordan Lamb, who loses out. Golevsky goes backwards. And Monaro do really well play the ball out from the back there. Golevsky, the goal scorer. Good football being played by Monaro. They're doing well under pressure. Canberra FC opting not to really press the player on the ball. And the ball goes over the top. Linesman keeps his flag down. It's New on the ball. He has Kalfas on top of the box. He opts to go himself, and it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Ugrinic finds Lamb. Barak is calling for it. He ends up getting it. Goes back to Ugrinic. Gianpaolo. He has a strike. Well saved from the goalkeeper. It's a save the keeper felt like he didn't have to make. It's giving some of his players a bit of a talking to. Urging them to keep their shape. They're going to need to. Gianpaolo had far too much space there. And he got a lot of power behind his shot as well. Corner kick in the mixer, but they're still dangerous. Cobaltado has on the ball. His ball's blocked, and a little bit of confusion there from the Monaro players. They're unable to break, and Canberra FC can drive forward again. Lamb opts to go backwards, play the smart decision. Subasic. Kier. Gianpaolo to Moragas. Does well to keep the ball there and find Graham. Lamb's calling for it and gets it. He's got Ugrinic to his right. Opposite go down the middle to Barak. Barak with a good ball there to Waters. Back to Gianpaolo. That's well blocked, but Canberra FC come forward again. Graham. Gianpaolo. Subasic. Lamb. Lamb tries to beat his man. Can't, but stays on the ball. And goes back to Subasic for support. Moragas is on his own down the left-hand side. Cobaltado being put under some pressure there from Golevsky. Forced to go backwards, Subasic to Kier. Kier finds Graham, who has to go backwards again to Subasic. And that's a poor pass. And there's Kalfas. Opts to go himself. And it's deflected over. That's 3 times now that's happened to Canberra. Once it actually cost them a goal. They argued it was a foul, but it did cost them a goal in the end, and it nearly cost them another one. The ball over the top is cut out. Canberra are playing some good football, but it's those sloppy passes in defence that could end up costing them the game. Whereas Monaro are keeping their shape very well. Almost playing with a back 5 now. And you can actually see Tomeski tracking Barak. Monaro win the ball back. Drive forward, that's well defended. And Gianpaolo looks up. That ball almost finds Waters. It was a good ball. But it's well read from Royce-Bacon. Oh, he did very well there. He does well to keep it. 3 Canberra players couldn't get it off him. Some good football there from Monaro. And they've still got the ball. Will there be some end product? Not with a pass like that. Gianpaolo, Subasic. Ugrinic goes back to Subasic. Graham. Ugrinic is making a run down the right-hand side. No one spotted him. They have to go down the left to Waters. And that's well defended. Canberra FC have another corner kick. Gianpaolo runs up to take. He's put a lot of his corners close to the keeper, putting him under a lot of pressure. So far the keeper has matched the task. But if he spills one, it could be a dangerous situation. Ozona barking instructions at his defenders. Canberra up to go short to Gianpaolo. Puts one in towards Graham, but it's headed up and eventually headed away. Colbertado does well to bring it down. Finds Gianpaolo. Looks for Subasic, and that's well defended. Monaro also win a free kick. That was very well defended by Daramy, who just did well to get his body in the way. He felt the attacker coming for the ball, and he had no choice but to go through him. It's a smart foul. Zdorski. Golevsky, the goal scorer. News. Monaro up to play the ball out from the back. They've had some success playing the ball out from the back. But then when they get into the attacking half, they just struggle to find that final ball. They seem to be looking for one through ball once they get into that half to put their attacker through on goal, rather than playing with the ball the whole way through. Ball switch to Baramy. He has New. He opts to go himself. He finds Kalfas, who goes back to Golevsky. Back to Baramy. New. Does well to beat a play there, but loses out the second time around. Graham recovers to Gianpaolo, who plays it out wide to Waters. Waters galloping down the wing. He beats one player, but there's two others there to cover. Well, he wins the ball back and the free kick. So another good chance for Gianpaolo to get the ball into the box. It is still Monaro Panthers 1, Canberra FC 0. Canberra FC still yet to score in the NPL. 25 minutes played here on Bar TV Sports. Gianpaolo behind the ball. You could play a short one to Colbertado, but Kalfas is there to cover. It's likely that he's going to put one in the box, maybe even towards goal in case it sneaks in. Straight down the guts of the goalkeeper. He looked to release early, but there was no one really there to break. It's a good ball to Kalfas. That's a clear handball and free kick. Tomeski. Chodorski to Baramy. Back to Chodorski. Ball is switched out wide. It is defended well and brought down by Ugrinic. But Colbertado can't get to the ball first. Golevsky goes backwards. He has New down the left-hand side. He finds New. New puts the ball in the middle, but there's no one there to attack. And it's cleared away for a throw-in. Baramy takes a throw down the wing. It's touched back and kept in by Subasic. Ugrinic, Gianpaolo. Moragas, he wanted to run onto it. Ball didn't quite have the weight there, but he got it anyway. Back to Gianpaolo from Waters. Pass is cut out. And Kalfas looks to break. Golevski's making a run. It's a wonderful ball to Golevski, who lifts it over the keeper and over the bar. He did very well to stay onside. It was a beautiful pass with the outside of the boot from Kalfas. But he just couldn't get the dip on it when he needed to. Monaro very, very nearly leading 2-0 against last year's champions. Graham. Lamb. That was a late challenge and a foul. Doesn't look they're going to put one in the box. They'll have to go backwards to Colbertaldo. To Moragas, whose touch isn't quite there, but he gets there anyway. Waters. Gianpaolo providing support. Colbertaldo making a run down the middle. He's got Lamb down the right. Moragas to the left. He tries to go to Moragas, but his pass is blocked. Moragas does well to recover. Waters. Moragas. Barak. Moragas loses out. And Kier does very well to come forward and win the ball back for his team. Barak in on goal, but the flag is up for offside. Second time he's got himself in a good position, but been offside. He just needs to time his runs a little bit better. And Zerno urging his team to go forward. He wants to play this one long, but he goes short. Monaro drive forward, and that's a clear foul by Moragas on Golevski. Monaro play down the wing. Is that Kalfas on the ball? Makes his way into the box, plays it over, but there's no one there. Ugrinic does well to recover. Gianpaolo holds the ball out, waiting for support. He finds that support. Advantage is played after that push. Colbertaldo's down the right. They can't find him, and Monaro come back with the ball again. Golevski plays a wonderful pass through to New. New gets his foot on the ball, but the keeper gets there just in the nick of time. But Golevski comes forward again. His shot's blocked. He gets another one away, and that's a wonderful save from the keeper, who also manages to gather the ball. Good play for Monaro. Very nearly make it 2-0 again. Canberra FC have had majority of the possession, but they haven't seemed to be able to do that much with it. No real clear chances on goal except for that Gianpaolo shot, which was saved by the keeper. Whereas Monaro could be 3-0 up by now. And if at half-time it stays 1-0, then Canberra FC might be wondering how Monaro haven't run away with this game just as of yet. They haven't had the possession, but they've had definitely the bulk of the chances. And they've been a bit more stable with the ball at their feet, particularly in defence. Oh, that's touched on brilliantly by Kalfas. Dahl. Golevski. Another shot away, but this time straight at the keeper. Thurtle in goals for Canberra FC, trying to urge his team on. That's a poor throw from Baramy. Gianpaolo does well to find Waters. Waters puts the ball into Barak. Can he get there in time? He can, and he holds the ball up. He's got Ugrinic in support. He finds him. And he opts to take the corner. Just 3 players in the box now for Canberra FC. Others coming in support. Keir from the centre of defence on the edge of the box. Keeper opts to come out and gather that one. It was a smart decision. He looks to release Kalfas, who takes on Graham and beats him. And he puts a ball in that just can't find his man. And Ugrinic comes forward. Ooh. Monaro want to play it quickly. Golevsky wanted them to play it quickly, but took a little bit of time. Graham. A lot of men back for Canberra FC. And they lose out to Kalfas, who plays a spectacular pass to Golevsky, who hits it straight at the goalkeeper. It's a nice Rabona pass there from Kalfas. One for the highlight reel. Golevsky. He slides in and wins the ball there. They go out wide and finds New, who puts the ball in the back of the net. It's 2-0 to Monaro. Some brilliant football, a wonderful 1-2, and New puts the ball in the back of the net. Monaro Panthers 2. Monaro Panthers 2, Canberra FC 0, 35 minutes played. Monaro Panthers lead this game by 2-0. It's no more than they deserve. Canberra FC are shell-shocked at the moment. They've now conceded 8 unanswered goals so far in the National Premier League, yet to score one of their own. Graham. They need a response. They're down by 2. They could have conceivably been down by more. But they are still in this game. Cole Bataldo behind the free kick this time. 5 in the box for Canberra. It finds Barak, who goes for a spectacular but can't get there. Gets a second shot away and a third. All 3 blocked. Subasic tries to put one back into the box. It's blocked again, and Canberra win the throw. And Canberra FC making an early change. Dominic Gianpaolo is coming off. Yabrich comes on for Gianpaolo in the action right away. So an early change for Canberra FC. Gianpaolo was everywhere out there. I'm not sure if he copped a knock and that's why he came off. Cole Bataldo. Out wide to Lamb. Tries to find Yadrich, who just came on. He can't, but Kolbatado's there to recover. Back to Kier. Moragas. Canberra FC need a response. They lose out. They want a free kick. It's a Monaro throw. And with about 7 minutes to half time, Monaro slow the game down a little bit, take their time with the throw. And win another. It's touched on. Kalfas can't quite get there, and Canberra FC play the ball back to Kier. Kolbataldo. Out wide to Waters. Waters to Barak, but he can't get there in time, and it's kicked out for a throw-in. Jadrich. Letsugrinic runs on it. Kolbataldo. Plays it out wide to Waters. Moragas is making an overlapping run. He goes to the middle to Barak. Barak can't turn, and Monaro clear. As far as Subasic, goes to Lamb. Lamb's pass is sloppy. Monaro come forward again. Kalfas. He's got Galevsky to his right. And James Ward to his left. He goes to Galevsky, whose shot is just wide of the mark. And once again, it's sloppy play from Canberra FC, sloppy passing that nearly gifted Monaro another goal. It is still Monaro Panthers 2, Canberra FC 0, 40 minutes played here at Riverside Stadium, the new and improved Riverside Stadium. And if they were playing on the old Riverside Stadium, some of this slick passing probably wouldn't be possible. Waters, Kolbataldo. Out wide to Lamb. Opts not to take his man on. Goes back to Kolbataldo. He's got Moragas to the left. He opts to go down the middle. Waters' pass is blocked. It goes out for a corner kick to Canberra FC. It looks like Moragas will take it. Kolbataldo running forward for the short corner. But play has been delayed as the Monaro Panthers player has gone down. He's looking for treatment from the side. It's James Ward that's coming off the sideline. He looks to be walking okay, but he will receive some treatment. Canberra FC eager to get onto the ball. Get on with the game. Moragas takes the corner. Puts it deep. Subasic wins the header. Goalkeeper punches out only as far as Yadrich, who does well to keep the ball. Subasic looks for Moragas out wide and finds Moragas. Well, it was almost wonderfully taken, and there's one ball that will need to be replaced. Any where will do. Not only did he lose the ball, it looks like he hurt himself in the process. And the physio makes his way on the pitch again. I don't know if there's any cars parked there or anything, but there's a river. Oh, there you go. No, the ball's in the ocean. It's over. I think in a lot of golf courses you find golf balls at the bottom of the ocean. You come here to Riverside, and if someone is bothered, they'll probably find a whole bunch of footballs there in the bottom of that river. Ball goes out wide. Baramy heads away, only as far as Graham, whose touch is poor, and it's cleared out once again. This time not as far. Jordan Lamb rushing to take the throw. Kolbataldo holds the ball up well, gives it back to Subasic. Finds Kier, who's got a whole ton of space there in the midfield. a lot of time on the ball. He finds Ugrinich, who goes for a curler, and the goalkeeper will see that one out. Had it covered. Score is still Monaro Panthers 2, Canberra FC 0, 43 minutes played. There's been a couple of stoppages as well, so it'd be interesting to see just how much stoppage time there is at the end of the first half. Canberra FC pushing forward, but Monaro definitely with the better chances. Ugrinich does really well to win the ball back there. Barak. Oh, a bit of confusion there, and the ball is cleared to Kalfas, who plays it forward. Glevsky does really well. Neil was making a run down the middle, but they didn't find him. He's still got the ball, even though Kalfas made a run down the left-hand side. This time he's found. Assistance flag stays down. Looks to put it in the box. It's deflected out to Galevsky, who goes from range, and it's wide. I think that one was a bit further away than it looked initially. Canberra FC move forward quickly. Moragas, he's being chased down. He does well to ride the challenge. Finds Waters. It's Colbertaldo. It's got Ugrinich and acres of space. And Lamb making a run down the right-hand side as well. Opts to take his time and eventually switch the ball out to Lamb, who puts one in the middle. The header was won by Barak, who seemed to tower over everybody, but he couldn't find it on target. Not long to go in the first half here at Riverside Stadium, the refurbished Riverside Stadium. It's grand opening today, and it's been a pretty good grand opening for Monaro. 2-0 up against the last year's champions. Maybe a sign of things to come on this pitch for them. Subasic wins that header. Another sloppy pass there to Galevsky. Down the left-hand side, finds Kalfas. He's in the box, finds Galevsky again, but he just dawdled on it. It was intercepted, but only as far as Kalfas, who loses out. Ugrinich. He plays it out wide to Waters. Moragas on his bike. Waters finds Barak. Tries to find Barak, and is well shielded out for a throw. One minute into stoppage time. Moragas back to Graham. Canberra FC looking for a goal before the half. Lamb loses out, and it goes out to Galevsky. Red shirts driving back, and they manage to get it back as well. One of those was Ugrinich, who finds Moragas. Goes out wide to Waters. Yadrich. Ugrinich does well to beat the player. Goes out wide to Barak. Two red shirts in the box. Colbertaldo lingering on the edge, and that's a poor ball, but he might get another chance. He does, but it comes straight out to the goalkeeper. Is it time for one more attack? Referee takes a look at his watch. If there is, it quite possibly could be the last one. Cut inside. Daramy. New. Galevsky. Back to the goalkeeper, Zerner. Referee takes another look at his watch. New puts his hands up in the air, but there won't be time to give the ball to him. It's half-time here at Riverside Stadium. It's been a brilliant first half for Monaro. They're up by 2-0. It could have conceivably been more. Canberra FC shell-shocked. And if nothing improves in the second 45 minutes, they could be facing 3 straight losses. The halftime score here at Riverside Stadium, Monaro Panthers 2 leading last year's champions, Canberra FC 0. Hello and welcome back to Bar TV Sports for this coverage of the Monaro Panthers versus Canberra FC. Second half about to get underway. Monaro lead 2-0 thanks to an early goal from Golevsky and a goal from New about 10 minutes later. About 20 minutes later, sorry. Monaro kick-off. Roast bacon. James Ward. Fast start from Monaro, who looked to play quick attacking football to start off with. Scored 2 goals in that first half. Could have had more. Canberra FC still in it, but yet to score a goal in the NPL. Looked like a high boot there, but referee waves play on. He got the ball and there was no real appeals. Kalfas. Moragas defends well and wins his side of throw in. Some good football early on by Monaro. Golevsky. Kalfas and James Ward wasn't able to get there. Roast bacon looks to take the throw and it could be a long one. Instead, Kalfas makes a run and tries to put one into the box, but it's too far and over everybody. Jordan Lamb runs onto it. As Canberra FC look to push forward. Colbertado's ball is intercepted. As Canberra FC pressing a lot higher up the field now. Everybody chasing, working a lot harder than they were in the first half, forcing Monaro back. And they win the ball again and look to come forward again. Lucas Moragas. He loses out to Rosebacken, who can make a run of his own. Moragas is out of position. Kalfas runs at the defender. Step overs, goes out wide. Takes the ball further in, goes for the near post, but the goalkeeper is there to cover. Kalfas also had that spectacular Rabona early on in the first half. He's really feeling it tonight. He'll also take the corner. 4 green shirts in the box. Corner's driven and headed out to Kalfas, who lets it run for a throw. Moragas does well to get in front of the play there. But it's only as far as News, who might have a crack at does and goes straight to the goalkeeper. Went through a Canberra FC leg as well, so goalkeeper did well not to be wrong-sided. Canberra FC looked to break quickly but can't, and that's a sloppy pass. Waters runs onto it. And he is fouled clearly, and it could be a possible yellow card there as well. Rosebecken runs from the scene of the crime, and the referee says the foul is enough punishment. Just the 1 yellow card in the game so far. Pavlak is behind the ball. He came on at halftime. It's hit back into the mixer. There's a few bodies there. The keeper manages to react very well. It's cleared, but not completely yet. And now it finally is. It looks like it will go out. Golevsky opts not to waste too much energy chasing after it. Lamb. Finds Graham. Lamb continues his run. Graham goes out wide and finds his man. Waters. Colbertado. Does well to keep the ball. Goes back to Graham. Thought about putting a ball in the box. Opts to go to Colbatato instead. Shot goes away from Waters, and it was always drifting wide. But much better in the second half from Canberra FC. Not as sloppy, better passes, and they're actually getting shots away. Rose Bacon. Does well to keep the ball from Barak. Pass could have gone anywhere. Does go to a Monaro shirt. James Ward. Kalfas. Rose Bacon. That looks like it's well offside. It is. It looked like Galevsky timed his run well initially, but it was Rose Bacon who just dawdled a little bit too long. An easy one for the linesman. Kier. Forced backwards Canberra FC. All the way to the goalkeeper, who has time to put it out wide to Pavlak. Pavlak looks to switch play. It's a good pass to Lamb, but just a bit too much weight on it. Daramy gives away the free kick. Easy decision for the referee. He's had a pretty decent game so far. Moragas puts his arms out. He wants the ball. It goes to Colbatato. To Pavlak. Here. Chadrich. It's blocked, but it goes to Moragas. Back to Pavlak. Graham. Waters is in. He can't get his shot away. Moragas is there, puts it across goal. A diving header away. And Barak finds the bottom corner. Canberra FC pull one back 8 minutes into the second half. Canberra FC pull one back. That's their first goal of the season. And it came from Barak, the new man. Canberra FC starting the second half, looking like a completely different team. The game could have run away from them in the first half. It didn't, and now they are well and truly back in it. Moragas. The goal has breathed new life back into the team. Rosebakken puts it through to Galevsky, who was just offside. It's a good decision from the linesman. He didn't time his run quite well enough that time. Canberra FC restart. Jadrich plays out wide to Lamb. Lamb makes a driving run forward. Just loses it, and it's 2 balls in the river. They've refurbished the stadium. They might need to put a higher fence in as well. Here out wide to Subasic. Looks for the clever ball into Moragas, but it's cut out by Rosebakken. And eventually it's cleared. Only as far as Colbatato. And is that 3 balls? No, not quite. Anyway, we'll do for Monaro now. Been put under a lot of pressure early on in the second half. Conceded an early goal in the second half. Canberra FC really pushing forward. It's a special day for Monaro, the opening of their refurbished stadium. They really want a result here. Barak goes from distance and flies over the bar. Keeper looked like it had it covered, but he did have one in the, I think it was Ugrinic who had one in the FFA Cup against Brindabella. It looked like it was drifting over and then it just dipped in the last second. Look, the keeper had that one covered. Pavlak. Looks for to switch a long ball, but it's cut out. And Monaro struggle to get it out of their own half. Eventually they do, but there's no one there chasing after it. 7 men back for Monaro now. They're under a lot of pressure. Ball goes in over the top. Looking for Barak. Finds Barak. It does well to find Ugrinic. But the last pass is cut out. And Monaro push forward. Oh, Rosebucken missed that ball. It's put into Barak, who looks to go around the keeper. And the keeper does it amazingly well. It looked like he was through on goal there, but the keeper recovers and manages to stretch an arm out. Wonderful, wonderful save. And now Monaro come down the other way. It deflects off the forward and two good decisions from the goalkeeper in the space of a minute. One to stop an equaliser, the other one to stop Monaro going for 2 goals ahead. End-to-end stuff here as Canberra push forward again. Advantage played. Out to Waters. His shot's blocked. Everyone going for it now. They're desperate, and that's a clear free kick. And it looks like it will be a yellow card as well. The yellow card is for the original challenge. But the free kick will be taken from well within shooting range, and Ugrinic looks like he's the one that's going to take it. Colbertado comes over as well and is just having a word with Ugrinic. This is a brilliant chance for Canberra FC to get back into the game. Will it be the left foot of Ugrinic or the right of Colbertado? We did see Canberra FC concede from this kind of distance against Tuggeranong. It was curled into the side of the net. That time it was around the wall. If they want to score, it looks like they're going to have to go over them. Colbertado, who finds the side netting. A wonderful finish from Colbertado, but the goalkeeper will be asking the question. He could have died. He just looked like he thought it was going the other way. He was wrong-footed, and it went into the side of the net. Canberra FC come back from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 here at Riverside. Monaro were in cruise control in the first half, and now it all seems to have collapsed. Canberra FC back from the dead. Manager Luka Udja needed to make a change. He made one late in the first half and taking off Gianpaolo. He's taken one in the second half to bring on Pavlak. Looks to have paid dividends. And that's another foul. Monaro looking very, very shaky. Canberra FC have all the momentum and they're chasing a third in the second half. Waters. Goes back to Pavlak. Kier. Looks for Barak. Keeper does well to get there first. Moragas does well to get there first and calmly heads back. Colbertado gets around one player. Yadrich loses out. Monaro push forward. Noosa's pass is sloppy. New can't get to the man. And another sloppy pass there. But Canberra FC come away with again. And that's a good ball to Moragas, whose touch is good as well. And he puts a good ball into Barak. He might be able to just find some space for himself. He's forced out wide and puts the ball in the centre. Headed as far as Waters, who heads it over to Barak. And it's a free kick for Monaro. End-to-end action here in the second half, but Canberra FC needed a response and they have responded. Monaro looked well on track for a famous win. Could have been up by 3 or 4 in that first half, but somehow they found themselves tied 2 apiece. Pavlak loses out there. Kaflas. Well, that's a poor pass there. And look like it would be a good chance for Monaro to get a third. Instead, there's a good ball cut out there, and Monaro looked to slow the game down just a little bit. Advantage played. Ugrinik. Yadrich. Yadrich puts a ball in the box. Waters gets there. Graham hits, and it's deflects out for a throw-in. Canberra FC ball. And Capital Chemist and Capital Football have partnered to reward volunteers for their contribution to football. If you know someone who could be the Capital Chemist Volunteer of the Month, nominate them for April at capitalfootball.com.au. Golevsky, the goal scorer, does well to hold the ball up. Kaflas. The Monaro attack is not really where they want to be. James Ward a little bit isolated up front. Golevsky. Roosbecken. James Ward does well to get his foot on the ball, but that pass is poor and it goes as far as Jordan Lamb. He switches the ball across to Barak. Offside flag stays down. Barak keeps the ball. Waters finds space. That's a wonderful save from the keeper. And Monaro cleared, but it's not the greatest clearance. Graham gets his head to it first, but it goes out for a throw-in, and Monaro can slow the pace of the game down a little bit. A very, very nervy second half for them. And they will make a change as well. It is James Ward, the man to come off. Monaro must feel like they need to change something just to try and get a foothold back in this game. They were cruising at halftime. Sam Smith replaces James Ward. Sam Smith, who scored 2 goals in Monaro's 4-1 win against Riverina a couple of weeks ago now in round 1. He'll be hoping for a similar impact here. Dahl loses out. And Canberra FC drive down the wings. Waters, he's in acres of space. He shoots straight down the path of the goalkeeper. No one seemed to close Waters down there, and he had just so much time to get a shot away. Pavlak heads to Colbertado. Colbertado looks for the run of Barak. He gets the ball, flag stays down. He's timed his runs very well tonight, Barak. Does well to stay on his feet there too. It's Moragas! Just wide! And Monaro heads look to have just dropped a little bit. Lucas Moragas just can't find the inside of the post. Wrapped his foot around it a bit too much. But a good effort at goal from a tight angle. And you can hear Jordan Thurtle urging his team to go again. They've got 2 early. They feel like they can get a third. The way they're playing, wouldn't be surprised if they got a third. It's a very disappointing second half for Monaro, who were just phenomenal in that first 45. Ugrinic. It's well defended. Referee gives a free kick. It looked like the player got the ball, but he did follow through and it might have been dangerous. Colbertado arguing with the referee. The free kick's been given now. It's probably shouldn't waste too much of his energy and risk getting a yellow card. It's just pleading his case there with the referee. Decision's been made now. And the referee's just going to have a chat with the linesman. And a yellow card has been shown to the Canberra FC bench, it looks like. It's a system that was trialled last year, showing cards to managers. Luka Udja, Canberra FC manager, with a caution. They come back forward again. It's just too much wide on it for Barak. It's a wonderful throw to Golevsky. Rosebacken, who loses the ball to Waters in a dangerous area. Give and go to Barak, who's offside. Barak has been timing his run so well all game, but that one looks like it got away from him. Or is it a free kick? Oh, the flag went up, but there was a free kick beforehand, and Ugrinic is behind it. Canberra FC with another set piece and another chance to get a goal from one. This one will put them ahead. Ugrinic behind the ball. Puts one into the box. It's headed away back to Ugrinic, who opts to go backwards to Jordan Lamb. Jordan Lamb puts one to Pavlak. Puts one into the box, and a little bit of confusion there between the defender and the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper manages to get the ball, and it's Daramir who's going to gallop forward. Monaro haven't really had too many chances to even get forward this half. And Canberra look for a third. Wonderful save from the keeper. Keeps his side in it. Moragas wins the header. Colbertado's there to get it to Pavlak, who heads it down to Graham. Gives it back to the keeper. Plays it out to Jordan Lamb. Jordan Lamb with the ball out to Barak. And the flag goes up for offside. Monaro play it quickly. Give and go. Golevsky. Golevsky puts through Smith, who cuts around one. Goalkeeper does very, very well. I think everybody expected the flag to go up there, but he timed his one really well, and Canberra stopped for a second, but Monaro just couldn't take advantage. No one knows where that one went, but Waters does well to keep it. Colbertado can't get there. Golevsky loses that. It just takes too much time in it, but Kalfas is there. He's pushed by Graham, but he stays on the ball, and the free kick is given. Interesting to see what Monaro do here. Do they just put one into the box and look for a runner? Kalfas does put one into the box. It's headed away, but Monaro get another chance. Golevsky. Can't beat Moragas, and he goes backwards to Noose, who goes back to Daramy, to Roosbakken. Plays a good pass there to Kalfas, and Kalfas gives away the free kick. It's well defended by Lucas Moragas, who leaves it for his goalkeeper to take. It looks like we're going to see another change for the Monaro Panthers. And New is coming off for Renato. So now all three of the goal scorers against Riverina are on the pitch. Jordan Lamb does well there and wins a free kick. It was an unnecessary foul. It was going out for a throw-in anyway. And the referee tells Canberra to take it from the position of where the foul was actually committed. Graham gives it to Colbertaldo. Moragas is making a run down the left. Waters puts a ball in, and it was a floater, but goalkeeper was well and truly up to the challenge. Easy stop. Daramy nearly loses the ball. Golevsky. Kalfas. Opts to take the player on. Canberra FC intercept and push forward. Ball is kept in. Gets around Daramy. Looks for Jadrich, but Todorsky is there to cover. And clear, but only as far as Colbertaldo. Waters is in acres of space on his own. They have to go forward. Waters gets on the ball eventually. Moragas is making a run down the left, and he's spotted by Waters. Moragas does well to get around the man and stay strong. Ugrinic. Shot is blocked, and Kalfas with a wonderful touch. Gets around the player. He's got Sam Smith in the middle. It's going to be difficult to find him. He's waiting for him to make a run. Makes a good run, but the goalkeeper reads it. Monaro are very dangerous on the break, but Canberra FC the team on top. Rest back into Noose. Daramy. Golevsky. Daramy. Golevsky's goal feels like a lifetime ago now. Noose's pass is poor. Waters gets the ball in the midfield. Ugrinic. Back to Waters. Waters with a good ball in. And Canberra FC lead! It's Daniel Barak with his second goal. Some sloppy defending, some great passing. And in the end, it's a good finish. Daniel Barak puts Canberra FC ahead 3-2 here at Riverside Stadium. 74th minute goal. Canberra FC, who didn't score in their first 2 NPL games, have managed to score 3 in a single half. And it means that they lead, and they look well and truly on their way to getting a vital 3 points. Monaro, on the other hand, will be wondering how they're losing this game, especially after the first half they had, and a couple of good chances in the second as well. Kaflas out wide. Monaro now chasing the game. Daramy put under pressure, but does well to release. Jordan Lamb does well to intercept, but he runs the ball out of play. Monaro, who scored early on in the first half, now have 15 minutes to try and get a point out of this game. Now it looked like they were well and truly on their way to 3, but a very, very poor second half, and all credit to Canberra FC, though. They came out firing in that second half. They had a point to prove, and they're 15 minutes away from showing that they're not going to be a pushover this season. Graham does well to get there. Waters, who's worked very, very hard in this second half. Moragas, back to Waters. It's just been everywhere tonight. Barak is fouled. Gets the apology as well. Temeski knew. Kolbatado to Moragas. Almost wasn't expecting it. Back to Pavlak. Kolbatado. He's closed down. Moragas. Kolbatado. His pass is cut out. Monaro looked to push forward. Sam Smith is down the middle, but doesn't look like the ball's going to get to him anytime soon. Fedorsky goes to Daramy, back to Fedorsky. Back to the keeper. Barak is looking to close him down, and the keeper is forced to kick the ball out for a throw-in, which Ugrinik will take quickly. Yadrich. Loses out, but Lamb is there and does well to get his foot on the ball. Yadrich loses out, and it's a free kick to Canberra FC. Referee tried to give the advantage. There was none. And after being 2-0 down in the first half, they have a chance to go up by 2 goals. Very, very dangerous from set pieces. Their first goal came from one. A wonderful strike from Barak to the side netting. Also Kolbatado into the side netting to get their second goal. It was Barak who got the first, and he also got the third. He's on a hat-trick. Ball goes into the box, but it's headed away as far as Kolbatado, who hits one from range, but it's well over. Looks like Todorski's gone down with the problem. Physio's being caught onto the pitch. It could just be cramp. Doesn't look to be in too much discomfort. But he might have to come off. Whatever the problem is, they want to deal with it quickly. About 17 minutes left in this game, normal time, and Monaro need a goal. They looked well on track to get 3 against last year's champions. The way things are going now, they'd settle for a single point. Goal kick is taken towards Kaflas. Waters wins the header. Comes back across to Moragas, who heads it forward back to Waters. Ball's intercepted. Smith does well to get there, but can't get around Lamb, who defends well. Back to Kier. Kolbatado. Waters can't get to the ball first. Kaflas does well to keep it. Plays out to Daramy. Restbacken has space down the right-hand side. finds Monaro. Monaro takes it to the line, hits it across goal, but just a little bit panicky there, and that's 3 balls in the river. Daramy loses out, and Colbertado comes away with the ball. He goes back to the keeper, who fires a brilliant ball forward, but it's covered all the way to the keeper, who throws it out to roast bacon. News. Back to Tomeski. Monaro is struggling to keep the ball right now. Canberra FC are pressing much better in the second half. Actually, they weren't pressing at all in the first half. Manager Luke Uja making the right changes both tactically and in personnel, reaping the rewards. Canberra FC leading 3-2, and it's a good ball out wide, but the offside flag goes up. And Monaro will make their third change. And Todorsky, who seemingly went down with an injury, will walk off gingerly. He'll be replaced by number 13, Kitsa. So Monaro have now dealt all their cards. 3 changes and under 10 minutes to get something from this game. Headed forward as far as Kier. Comes back the other way and Kier is out of position. Ball finds Sam Smith. Looks like it might have hit his hand. Referee says nothing doing. Hitster, first touch of the ball. Ball is switched across to Rosebacken. Finds Golevsky. Golevsky looking for an option in the box. It beats everyone, but Kuflas is there. Puts one in the box himself, and it's cleared by Kier. Only as far as Daramy, who will look forward again. Yadrich closing down, as is Ugrinich. Kuflas does well to find his man. News's pass to Kitzer is poor. Canberra FC come away with the throw. Moragas. He has so much space. Rosebacon's chasing after him. Oh, it's a wonderful ball to Barak, who goes around the keeper, and he gets his hat-trick! Canberra FC, who were down by 2-0 at halftime, now lead by 2 goals in the second half, and it looks like they will get all 3 points. Barak, who failed to get off the mark in his first 2 games, now has a hat-trick. 3 goals in 2 games. Not a bad record for the new signing. Four goals in the second half for Canberra FC, 3 of those coming from Barak, who gets his hat-trick, and if the balls don't go into the lake, he'll get the match ball as well. Can Monaro respond? If they get a goal back in the next couple of minutes, we can expect a grandstand finish. If only games ended at 45 minutes. Ergrinick If anything, it looks like Canberra FC are the ones chasing another goal. Yadrich. Barrack went around the keeper again. Oh, he could be put through here again for his fourth. He opts to wait for support. Ugrinic is in the middle. As is Waters, he looks for Waters, but he can't beat Rosebuck, and Colbertaldo's there, but his touch is a bit heavy. Does well to hold on to the ball and find Ugrinic. Rosebuck turns very, very well. And comes out and finds Smith. Smith puts the ball forward, and it was Renato that was offside. Barrach nearly had his third when he went around the keeper. The keeper did well the first time to get his hand down and save, but that time Barrach was wise to the move and took it a little bit further out of reach, squeezed it in for his hat-trick. Canberra FC up to make their change. So Lucas Moragas comes off. Ugrinic. Waters. Forced to go backwards. Pavlak. Tikir. Back to third to the goalkeeper, who puts one down the middle. It's headed back only as far as Jadrich. Lamb makes the run, but sorry, Brunskill makes the run, but he can't get there. Brunskill was the man who came on to replace Lucas Moragas, and there's a clear foul there and another yellow card. This time for Daramy. Three minutes left in normal time. Yarich has stayed down. Canberra FC has used all three of their subs, so they will have to finish the game with 10 men if he can't continue. It looked like it was all going so well for Monaro. 2-0 up at half-time. They could have been up by 3 or 4 and just completely imploding in the second half. Canberra FC coming out firing, knowing they need to show some kind of response, and a team that failed to score in their first 2 NPL games has scored 4 in the space of 45 minutes. 3 of those from Barak, another from Colbertaldo. Scored a brilliant free kick with his right foot, curling it into the side of the net, wrong-footing the goalkeeper. Yadrich lips off the pitch. We'll see if Luka Ujda opts to finish the game with 10 men, or maybe he'll be okay to come back on. But at this stage, you have to imagine that unless something spectacular happens, the 3 points more or less belong to Canberra FC. 2 goals ahead and in full control. Ugrinic. Dummies and goes for goal himself. Goalkeeper had the corner covered. A minute and a half left in normal time. If Monaro wants something from this game, they're going to have to go all guns blazing. Rosebacken. It's flicked on by Smith, but no one's there to get it. Colbertado heads back to Graham, who finds Yadrich, rides the challenge. Does well to keep the ball initially, but no one's there, and Graham knocks it forward, only as far as the goalkeeper. He kicks the ball forward. Key heads to Jadrich, but Kaflas gets there first. Daramy. Ball is switched to Rossbacken. News. Out wide to Daramy. Goes back to Tomeski to Rosebacken. Plays a 1-2 but can't get there. Smith chases back, but the ball does find Juganic, who loses out to Tomeski. Monaro working very hard now to try and get something back. Ball is hit away by Lamb to Barak. To Ugrinic. He has Jadrich running to his right. He has Lamb on his left. He opts to go himself to start off with. He beats one player, has a shot from distance, and goalkeeper spilled it initially, but manages to hold on to the ball before Barak can get there and get a fourth. It's a long throw from the keeper to Kaflas. That's a poor touch, and Ugrinic shots onto the ball, but eventually it's kicked out for a throw-in. Canberra FC stayed very, very disciplined in the second half. They picked up an early yellow, but they've defended very, very cleverly, not rushing into challenges, not giving away free kicks. Monaro, on the other hand, have been put under a lot of pressure and just been second best to a lot of the balls, and a lot of the times they're catching the men. Jadrich does well to get there first, but he can't get the ball to anybody in particular. As Golevsky turns and plays the ball out right to Renato, who does well to get a shot away. Keeper spills, but there's no one there to follow up, and it's comfortable in the end for the goalkeeper. Referee takes a look at his watch. Just waiting for the full-time whistle now. It's headed away from Barak, and Canberra FC will take their time on this throw. 2 minutes into added time. Canberra FC really taking their time on the throw. Waters finds Lamb. Can't control the ball, and Monaro desperately want to push forward. Monaro win the free kick. Some thought that was the full-time whistle for a second there. Goes out to Daramy. Kaflas runs into Brunskill, gets the throw. Kitspa. So that's a good one too with Kaflas. Ball put out wide to Golevsky, who scored the first goal 8 minutes in. Puts one into the box. Thurtle reads it very well, and he'll take his time on this one as well. We're into the 3rd minute of added time. Referee takes another look at his watch. Long ball is played, headed only as far as Jadrich. Daramy does well and wins the free kick. So we approach the 4th minute of added time. Brunskill wins the ball there, gives it to Barak, who turns. Jadrich, back to Colbertaldo, out wide to Graham. Good football from Canberra FC. Pavlak, Graham. To Pavlak, Jordan Lamb. Plays a good ball out wide to Jadrich. Brunskill. Barak. Can't find his feet. Ball is cleared, but it only comes forward. Jordan Lamb, side foot. It's just wide. Keeper looked like he may have had that one covered as well, but it goes out for a goal kick, and it looks like the referee is getting ready to blow the full-time whistle. We're 4 minutes into added time. It goes all the way across to Daramy. Smith looks like he wants to make a run, but the ball doesn't go to him. He gets it eventually, but he's surrounded by red shirts. Does well to get the pass away, and it goes out wide to Renato. Renato cuts back, and the ball is fired straight down the path of the goalkeeper, and that's it for this game. Monaro very really nearly responded, but the shot was poor, went straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, and even if that went in, it wouldn't have been enough here at Riverside Stadium. It's been a strange game. Monaro started off very, very well. Went up early through Galevsky, an 8th-minute goal, capitalising on some sloppy defending from Canberra FC. And then about 30 minutes later, they did so again through Neo. 2-0 up at half-time, absolutely cruising, and then Canberra FC come out in the second half with a point to prove. A goal from Barak and then shortly after, a brilliant free kick from Colbertaldo, followed by 2 more goals from Barak for him to get his hat-trick. Canberra FC get their first win of the season. They were staring down the barrel of defeat for a while there, but they managed to come back and avoid crisis talks. The final score here at Riverside Stadium is Canberra FC 4, Monaro Panthers 2.